Lesson 112, Direct Objects. As we go along learning French grammar, sometimes we need to stop and think about grammar in general. Sometimes we do that in English. And this lesson is an example of that. We're going to talk about direct objects. So far, you know what a subject is, you know what a verb is. Now we're going to learn about direct objects. So let's talk about this sentence here. Harold plays the drums. In this example sentence, the word Harold is the subject, plays is the verb, and the word drums is the direct object. As I say here, the direct object is the target of the action being performed by the subject of the sentence. It's the target of the action being described by the verb. So the verb is plays, and the thing that's getting played is the drums. And before we move forward, another quick note, a verb can be either transitive or intransitive. A transitive verb is a verb that can do some kind of action to a direct object. An intransitive verb is a verb that cannot do an action to a direct object. So an example of a transitive verb would be the verb play. Like in our example sentence here, we have Harold plays the drums. The verb play is a transitive verb. It can take a direct object. In this case, the word drums. But here's an example of an intransitive verb, that is a verb that cannot take a direct object. Think for a moment about the verb swim. When we use the word swim, generally there is no direct object. It's just we're saying that we are swimming or someone is swimming. If you wanted to, you could say that someone is swimming a body of water. You could say, well, that person is going to swim the river, or you could say that person is going to swim a race. You could do that, but generally speaking, the way we use the word swim is as an intransitive verb. That is a verb that does not take a direct object. So now you know what a direct object is, and you know the difference between a transitive verb and an intransitive verb. So let's look at our exercises now, and in each one, let's try to identify the subject, verb, and direct object. In number 1, Mr. Jones is the subject, the verb is bought, and the direct object is newspaper. The newspaper is the target of the action being performed. In number 2, the word I is the subject, see is the verb, and the movie is the direct object. In number 3, Harry is the subject. The verb here is comprised of 2 words, is playing, and the trombone is the direct object. In number 4, we have the word we as the direct object. The verb is in the future tense, that's will play, it's comprised of 2 words, and baseball is the direct object. In number 5, James is the subject, caught is the verb, and fish is the direct object. In number 6, they is the subject, broke is the verb, and radio is the direct object. In number 7, the word y'all is the subject. That's our second person plural pronoun that we use in this book. Painted is the verb, and the word building is the direct object. In number 8, we is the subject. The word listened is the verb, and speech is the direct object. In number 9, Mr. Underwood is the subject, lost is the verb, and wallet is the direct object. In number 10, Geraldine is the subject, saw is the verb, and the word dear is the direct object.